form, the people usually you guys will have heard the name that they call FSC. Uh, so our agenda will be for today that I will tell you what is FSC. I will give the introduction to that, different verticals, what's they covered. We'll keep a focus only on a wealth management. Like I will explain it in detail when we go to that slide that what I mean to by wealth management. It's kind of line of business in the banking industry. Maybe some of you guys know. Maybe for some people, it's a new thing. It's used in some other industries as well, like insurance, service industry as well. Then we will have a small demo on one of the module. Then we will speak on any questions are there or not. If you guys have any questions, we will try to tackle those. Even beside anything which is not in the slide, if you guys think to be covered, if we have a time, we'll try to cover it. Otherwise, we'll take a feedback and we will have another presentation and we will cover there. So for financial service cloud, I heard that initially Yoga said that he is working in a sales cloud and he just want to understand what is financial cloud. Honestly speaking, it's a sales and service cloud. It's just that Salesforce built some packages for some different industries. Like for financial industry, they realized that in banking, insurance, the people are making their own custom objects as their operation needed, right? So why not they make their own package? For example, in Sales Cloud, like for example in bank, they want something to club the accounts in a household. So rather than creating a custom object, so Salesforce what they did is that basically they make their own package financial service cloud where they have their own household object over there, which is out of the box. You have your own asset and liabilities. You have your own financial account objects. So that's how this financial account FSC cloud basically came into the picture. Salesforce is a smart company. Everybody knows it, right? They keep on looking at what's going in the market. And if something looks that every client or most of the client are using, they start making their own product and then they start publishing it that, right? That's what they did with FSC. They looked to the many banks in North America and other regions as well, in the European region as well. They figure it out something which are common in the financial industry. They start basically building their own package. So they make a FSC cloud. So it's like a regular your sales cloud. It's just that you will install the package of FSC. When you have FSC cloud, you give some certain permission set to the user so that they can use those objects which coming as part of FSC. So Yogaraj, for your question, when you initially said that, right, you are in Sales Cloud, it's a similar kind of thing. It's just that it's another on top of that Sales Cloud, you are getting something out of the box. Which supports financial industries. It could be banking industry or it could be insurance and all those things. That's what basically financial service cloud is. There are different verticals in FSC. Like I said, it works in banking, insurance industries as well. So in banking, there are different line of business. Basically, it's just not that when we say banking, we always understand that maybe it's just a retail banking, but under banking there are many line of businesses like wealth and asset management, commercial bankings, lending businesses, their line of businesses there. So what they did basically, the similar objects are being used by those line of business, like for example account, which is part of Sales Cloud. Any industry or any organization going to use it because you need to store the customer information. That's where the account comes in the picture. Now in banking industry, you need a financial account, whether you are in wealth, whether you are in lending, whether you are in commercial line of business, you have to have your financial account information, right? So that object is commonly being used. So what they did is that in FSC, they bring everything. It's just that they make a different screens for a different line of businesses, a different kind of roll-ups, a different kind of sharing pieces. Basically they put out of the boxes, they bring out LWC templates where you don't need to create it. You can utilize those templates, existing ones, what they have it, or you can basically piggyback on those and create your own as well. So that's how they did it. So wealth management, basically line of business is like, what I can say that, bank has some customers which are basically some high net worth customers. So they have their own, so banking have the investment advisors, so they only serve those high net worth client. That's they call wealth management. But when they are working with our regular customer, which are retail, they call it retail banking. They are working on the same thing: your banking account, checking, saving, your assets, your liability, your credit cards, your loans. It's just that the lending line of business is purely working on the lending part, like giving a loan. It could be residential loan, mortgage, or it could be any other loans, line of credits, all those things. uh, Commercial banking is working again same thing on the checking account, saving account, credit cards, that kind of modules. Is just they how the banking system divided their line of businesses to tackle a different kind of customers. If there are very high net worth clients, it comes under wealth and asset management. They manage uh, their assets. It could be their investment assets. It could be their insurance assets, because some people use insurance as an asset, not as a not as a life coverage, but being in a North America, if we study the financial thing, we realize that insurance is being used as an asset as well. So those pieces are come under into that banking domain. Uh, Beside the banking, they also FSC also being used by the insurance industry. So what they did with the insurance industry is that, uh, like, the process is same, like the lending and the insurance is almost similar process. You create an application, you took some pre-required documents, then you go with the underwriting process, right? It's just that in the insurance policy, you have a policy where you're getting a premium every month, every year, depending upon what you sell it, what product you sell it. And at the end, basically the claim, it could be maturity, or it could be death, or it could be any, depending upon what. So there's a company used to be called Velocity, which is a separate company built on Salesforce earlier. They have a good modules and used by the telecom industry mostly. But there's a piece of Omni which Salesforce like it, and then later on they acquire the Velocity and bring it into that FSE as well. So you can use the Omni module, Omni Studio module of that, in FSE and in insurance industry both. It's a good tool. If, like, whenever you guys get chance, basically go to Trailhead, learn that Omni thing. Uh, so that's how they keep on enhancing their FSC for the banking and insurance. They keep on bringing new things over here. I didn't put in the slide here. Recently, I saw that they bring something called, because they retired their OCR piece, and now they are doing some integration with AWS Textract for the OCR, like all this reading the documents, or like the insurance premium, insurance payments, reading from the statements, recorded itself as well. So how they keep on increasing
তো
their.
না কালো রঙের বেবিসিটার দেখলাম কিনে কাঁধে ব্যাগের মতো নিয়ে ঢুকলো
Sorry, can somebody be
Okay, if you are not speaking, can you please go on mute? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So under wealth management, how it's implemented, I have seen because I worked a couple of banks previously in implementation of Salesforce. And what's the purpose of the wealth management is that basically it gives, like, it's the basic thing of CRM, which 360-degree view of the client. By 360-degree view of the client, I mean to say that when you open the client record, you have all the information, just not their addresses and all those things, but like their financial account informations, their life events, their goals, their any interactions the advisors are doing with their clients. So everything is available on a single record itself, which is always convenient for the banks to basically to approach the customer, how they have to approach their customer, right? It's support to that. And especially when in the wealth management, when they are very high net worth clients, so their data availability for the advisors is very important, like how much easily available to them, so that how much readily is available to them, so that they can They can speak with their client comfortably. So, and in FSC they bring many things like which you don't find in Sales Cloud or Service Cloud, like the concept of live events. Uh, I take it like live events, like you can put on a client information, like when you speak with a client, you can say that, oh, client is expecting that by in 2 months or by next 1 year, he's looking to buy a house, right? You can create that live event that planning to buy a house, and that could be a kind of an opportunity for that, right? Which could be utilized by the advisors or by the rep who is working on that client. So that's how this live event works. There are many other pieces like goals are there, interaction summaries are there. I know in Sales Cloud we usually have a task and events which the reps use basically to create a some assign their tasks or some calendar events, right? But Salesforce bring an interaction summary to there. It's just not basically creating a task, it's a summary that you interacted with the client, you recorded the whole interaction, how it goes over there, which gives a more analytic view to the management to review it, that how much this client is interacting, and what they are uh, what could be the next thing we can sell to that customer. This is how it helps to the business basically, those pieces. Other than that, there are action plans. Action plans, again, I would say that it used to be an unmanaged package some time back. I have used it when it was unmanaged as well. It was a later on Salesforce make it their own product and make it a managed package now with FSC. So what action plan is basically, I can just briefly explain it. Uh, you can create your own template, for example. For example, let's somebody trying to open an account, right? So you have a template that you need you have to open an account, you have to speak with the customer, you have to do whatever next activity, and you put the days, like after 2 days of you have to create account, after 3 days you have to do, after creation of account, after 1 day you have to do this particular activity and all those things. You create that template, and then you can use that template against any new customer when they are you're onboarding it, right? So that's the concept, the action plan. They bring it in the FSC, which is utilized by many branch managers as well, many advisors as well. So because it make their work, it is another word I would say, if you guys know Excel, so you can say that kind of a macro, right? You build that template and you use it against many other clients as well. So I just didn't put many things in the wealth, but they bring more in the FSC. There are many more features they bring into the FSC. But just letting you know that how in the wealth management, uh, they have basically FSC is supporting them in growing their business and giving them some analytically as well the 360-degree view of the client. It's just a high level data. I cannot place the whole data model of the FSC in the slide because, as I said, in FSC they bring many pieces like commercial banking, lending, uh, Omni, right? But high level, I put on the wealth side, what major objects are covered. Little bit pinkish objects are basically the which is coming at FSC, and which are a little bit off color. Uh, those are the standard Salesforce. Anyone who already know the Salesforce, they understand that account contacts are standard Salesforce objects, right? Uh, they bring like life events, financial account roles, asset liabilities, holdings, all those as FSC. There are many more in FSC objects. It's just that I cannot bring each and every that structure over here. We are just talking on a wealth management, so keeping um, to specific to the wealth management. Okay, next we have a slide for demo. Let me see if I can log in.
Sorry, Hiten, one quick
Yeah.
question on the previous slide.
Yeah.
If you could go back, so you mentioned household.
Yeah.
Household is kind of a record type on the account, or is it just a new object?
It's a new object.
Oh, okay, so account is a child of household, is it? Or account is a parent of household?
Household is a record type. Sorry, I think so.
Okay.
I forgot that practically. I think they make a record type for that.
Hmm.
Let me reconfirm to that.
Okay, no problem. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Account will remain always the main object. But so let me confirm to that. Just one.
Sure.
We'll take that question. I will take care. It's correct. Any other question?
I have,
No.
yeah, I have a question. How is this different from the Service Cloud? I mean, is it only related to finance domain?
Yeah. So sales and services are services basically in Service Cloud. You get a like case and all those stuff, which is also again the part of sales as well. FSE is being used by the Service Cloud as well, Sales Cloud as well. This is a kind of package. So Salesforce confused it by putting a different names like Sales and Service Clouds. It's totally different from the Experience Cloud for sure because that's different. But FS is in a extended package inside the Sales Cloud or Service Cloud, whatever you're using it. And extra objects are coming with the FSE and the modules.
Okay.
Hi, this is Rahul. I have another question.
Yeah.
So you talked about action plan and action plan templates.
Yeah.
My first question is that a repetitive collection of like tasks that one can create with action plan templates to create an action plan? And the second question is, which team utilizes is it for client services or investment managers can also utilize that?
Yeah, so good questions. Yeah, that's correct. That it's kind of a set of tasks in the template you can create, and even that's a dependent task. For example, let's say second task is dependent on the first task, so the second task will not be visible till the first task is completed. Like it could be, or you can have an independent task as well. But that's the correct thing. It's a set of different tasks, and which can be utilized, and it could be utilized as both. Like it's just not the basically the reps. It could be used by the managers as well, depending upon what kind of client is that. If it's like in a wealth management, it's your asset management or high net worth client, they are possible that advisor is using it. But if there is some client which is still on the onboarding process or not yet to be a client, that could be utilized by their advisor subordinates as well, right? So it could be used by anyone. It's not any particular to be with any particular role has to be used that.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Hiten, one question, like when it comes to the sharing and security,
Mhm.
all the financial service cloud objects like securities, business milestone, are they always controlled by the account or we can have independent, security settings for them?
No, they are controlled by the parent. So in FSC, what they did, they have the standard Salesforce sharing as well, the what we use in other objects similar way. They bring some concept of a CDS as well, compliant data sharing, where basically you can have a separate kind of sharing where like you want that this even your account is visible to somebody, but you want your child record is not. It's like I said, from a compliance perspective, there's a need for that, right? So you can have your CDS to be set up where you can put those restrictions that even the account visibility is there, parent availability is there, still that child record could be made as a non-shareable. So on those scenarios, CDS could be used, but otherwise the regular sharing, whatever the means we have in Salesforce for like roles or sharing rules, all those are still applicable.
Um, So how, sorry, this is Rahul Sethi again. How is this different from restrictions rules then? Uh,
Yeah, restriction rules works only on a few objects. For example, I think if I'm not
yeah,
wrong, on activity or maybe,
yeah, task activity, yeah,
yeah,
very limited
yeah,
access. Yeah.
you limit, yeah. So that's the I that's why it's different, because that CDS works on a many objects, many other objects as well, but restriction rules just only for a couple of objects that works. And that I always see that why in Salesforce in FSC look like they have their different branches of the developers. Why don't they make a one solution for why to keep two, like one is a restriction rules, they built it out, right? And one the CDS built it out. Why don't they combine it? That's question. My question is for the Salesforce.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Any other
I
question
have
on
a
this? Go ahead,
yeah.
please.
So yeah, Nathan. So regarding the you mentioned some client interactions that will be saved in some object. Which object
It's an
will be?
interaction. It's an interaction summary. I don't see it here. Yeah, it's an interaction summary.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe in
Yeah.
the demo I will present that one.
Yeah.
I will keep
Let's
it.
continue.
Yeah. Thank you. Let me see. I'm in a FSC org, like just I will show you basically high level. Like if you see that I just trial org of the FSC, I'm using it for this demo. You see that they have a separate modules. They made it like for retail banking, commercial banking, insurance, and all those things. We are using just wealth management. People who are know the Salesforce, like I saw many knows it, right? So it's a regular lightning one, but it's just that you will see a different structures of availability of like the financial accounts, which are not available in your regular Sales Cloud or Service Cloud. uh, uh, and you can have a list of your accounts, like bank account policies. Like when I'm saying 360-degree view is available, right? If somebody is working on this client and they can see all the assets. Now, as this is a wealth management, if let's say in a commercial banking, I'm opening this same account, they might see a couple of more options here, like credit cards or loans, which are, because this is high net worth, so they don't care about the loans, right? So they don't see those tabs available over here. And so and the roll-ups are available here out of the box. There are many roll-ups the Salesforce in FSC, they're providing it out of the box. You don't need to build it out, and many LWC components are they available out of the box, which you can utilize when you're designing your lightning page here. uh, there is a good part of the relationship that basically this is the this you can find in Salesforce regular cloud, Sales Cloud or Service Cloud, that how that relationship works between uh, account and contact, right? Like say for example, account is uh, Rogers, right? And you have a contact for them under Rogers, who is an accountant, who is a legal advisor or whatever, right? So that relationship you have in Sales and Service Cloud, but this graphical representation, which is give a more readable format to the users who are that's available in FSC. So this ARC, as of now, this is not available in your regular cloud. In future, they may promote it, but this is currently an FSC feature of having this ARC graph, which definitely helps. I have seen the users in the banking industry. It definitely help because it's easy for them to understand how their accounts and contacts they are related. Even the household, if it's there, that's how they are related. Like who is a primary. Otherwise, they have to go to the data and see a sheet over there. So this is another feature of FSC, which they prefer to use it. Uh, this is the same thing, ARC, the relationship, how the concepts are there. You asked me a question of a household is a separate object or not. Let me first correct it, that one. Sorry, yeah, look like they have a record type, not an object. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to that, our demo. Yeah, somebody asked me about the interaction summaries, the summary which are recorded, right? I said that under interaction summaries. Like the similar way that you create I know Salesforce has a many things. You have a notes, you have some objects as a comments, like the cases as a comments, you have a notes, you have a task, you have events. So interaction summary is being used in FSC. It is, you can say, that extended version of tasks and mixture of task and notes, you can say that, right? The good piece is that basically you can create a case from here as well. Like you can link it with any other as well. Like you create a summary, you can link with just not with the account or contact, you with some other object as well. And you can keep those notes here. I spoke about the action plans. This is from where we use it, but let me go to the templates. I can use some sample one, this one, for example. Let's see. So like this template is like available where you have a complete online application, days to complete 2. This is required that you can set the task, basically is a scheduled meeting with the client after 10 days, means after this, when it's complete, only then it will be basically this task will be available. You can put the checklist as well, like which document, like you need which document you need it. For example, you're opening an account, you just need a driving license, for example, or maybe you need address proof. Or if you're selling or maybe if you are granting a loan for the loan application, you may have an income proof, you may have the credit report, or maybe whatever document, you can list it out there. And then you can also set whether required, not required, all those instructions. So that template is ready. And when you are in the client level, basically you can assign that template, that what needs to be done. And the similar way, the task will be assigned, and they can follow up. So from here, like you can choose a template and it could be assigned. That's how the action plan is being used. Goals is kind of, you are tracking it, which could be in future, could be a lead. Like for example, you speak with a client and they realize that client has a goal to retire in next 5 years, for example, and they can put it over there so that they can reach out in 3 year or 4 year to sell some other product which could be the good for his retirement or something like that way. So that's how they help in looking to their goals. I don't have a life events here, which is another good feature of FSC. They bring it. The life event is like somebody's planning for a marriage, right? So they can see that maybe we can pitch into their spouse as well, incoming whatever the period is that when they're married during the marriage, or they're buying a house. It could be a life event as well. I don't have it here, but that's what the concept of the life event is. Let's open this. I know I'm giving just on the financial account side, on the wealth management side, the demo. I will quickly show you like how this financial account looks different on any other module. Like I will give anything on the commercial, for example, let's say. Because under commercial, basically they sell more things. Like you see separate saving, checking, credit cards, loan accounts, right? We all know it that we can manage via the record type and the page layouts in the Salesforce. It's just that they divided them into the kind of the line of business. But the concept of that financial account information is like how they are storing it. If technically you think, yes, they are different record types, but one object, how they are storing it.
Yeah, hi then.
Yeah.
Jatin is here.
It's
Uh, Uh, Regarding the financial accounts and the summary, as you mentioned, like there is a standard, some pre-built roll-up summary is available for the financial service cloud.
Yeah.
So as I have seen, like you have shown the same financial accounts for both the applications, wealth management and for commercial.
Mhm.
So the query is like if you see in the top, like it is showing the summary for the total financial accounts, the summary for particular account.
Yes.
So like the summary it is showing, it is for overall summary of all the financial accounts, including wealth management as well as the commercial accounts,
Yeah.
or it is just based on the
It's basically the field is basically like the bank deposits is there on the bank accounts for this one. Here you don't see any like here you don't see anything on the loan side of there. If I go to commercial, for example, oops, see, you will see the credit. You have the bank deposit, same thing here as well. That roll up of that two bank accounts, which is not visible here on the commercial side, but the roll up is there. This credit is there is available for the loans, like for credit card and for your loan account. So they are showing a different like for deposits they have a separate field, for the roll up for the loans they have a separate, right? And then their number of, so some fields are out of the box are available, some you can create it as you need it.
Okay. And sir, regarding the relationships, like the roll-ups, how it works, like as you have shown that in the relationships, like the households are there. In the households, there are different members are there,
Yeah.
right? And related contacts are there. So, like this summary, how it is, distributed the amounts, like for one particular household. Definitely, let's say I there is a household, I'm a part of that household, and there are other members are also they're part of their, and all of them have their own investment or their all credits or other financial accounts they have.
Yeah.
So
So they have that concept as well, so where you can roll up as you need it. For example, if I am on this client, if let's say I have another account, Hiten over here, and Hiten has another 10,000, so that roll up could come over on the parent as well.
okay.
Yeah, and under Hiten, if I have some other sub account, that roll up will also go on a parent. So that's how it works.
And those roll-ups are already defined, but
Yes.
like, and we can also create. Can we create
Yes, we can also
our own?
create. Yeah, we can also create as needed. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hi. I have another question.
Yeah.
So, it seems like this cloud is very customized, and it's amazing to see like all the financial accounts and relationships.
Mhm.
But um, ho- to what extent, for example, can a developer uh, like be useful to this after understanding the data model and the reporting structure and object or like object connections, relationships? So yeah.
Yeah, no, sales as Salesforce like give as a platform to build it, right? So you still can enhance it. Like for example, I would say something is not making sense to you that you don't want, like your line of business doesn't want to use it, right? They say they have their own kind of niche kind of working style, right? And their operations, right? And something is not working, you can enhance it as you need it. They give the ability to do that. It's just that the some of the objects you cannot touch it, but either you will like you can create your own flows, you can create your own object that's not getting stopped.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So asset and liabilities, they can use it like it's being used by lending line of business as well, and then in wealth management also they use it just to track that how their high net worth is there, right? Yeah, these are the major things on the FSC on the wealth management. like I would suggest that like if anybody is interested in FSC, like going through the trailheads, take that some demo work from the Salesforce. Some, I think in a slide we put it, some links to the materials as well.
Hiten,
Yeah.
one quick question. So when it comes down to the order of execution, if I have some custom code on the account trigger, and if I'm referring to these roll-up summary few values on the account, so which one takes the presidency? So does my custom code gets triggered first, or these values gets calculated first?
The trigger takes the precedence on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all these roll-up calculations happens at the end.
Yeah. So if you see, I can show, like, because you guys know a little bit Salesforce, so I can quickly show it something. This package brings their own trigger as well.
Oh, okay.
So on account, you will have your custom trigger and the FSC trigger as well. So I just, because you guys know it, so I can show you like these kind of packages are being installed here, right? Financial Service Cloud packages installed.
Right.
Yeah. And if I go to any object like account, for example, I believe there will be two triggers, one from the FSC and one, if any custom is not written here, then
Right.
yeah. So it's one is coming by default, right? And this, yeah. Yeah, this is managed code as a part of FSC, right? You can create your own. Yeah. So that's how it works.
Okay. And when we have our own trigger, there is no guarantee that our trigger gets triggered first
Yeah.
or this trigger.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, that's, I think, for the today demos. We have some resources, learning resources as well for you guys, if you guys want on FSC. Any question, team? You guys want to have it?
Hiten, again, Jatin is here. Can you please put on some of the points regarding the certifications for the FSC? Since I already started learning FSCs for long back, but I have gone through a couple of trails as well, but I didn't get much about the certifications.
Yeah. So I think unfortunately FSC Salesforce does not have any certification. It gives you, if you are working with some partners, the implementation partner companies like Deloitte or TCS or Cognizant, from the partner orgs you can get some FSC certifications, but the regular certification, what we do it through the actual, like the admin dev and all those things, those are not publicly available.
So I think, Hiten, you are mentioning about those accreditation.
Yeah, those could be done through the partner orgs, but for public, those certifications are not available yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone? Okay, that's great. So if no other questions, we will end the session here, and the